So we're going to talk about composition a little bit more. The topics that we're going to talk about today are leading lines, converging lines, unbalanced shots, and some natural frames. So let's go ahead and take a look at some examples.
Victory is not mine.
If you're looking for inspiration on leading lines, you can always head over to Google and type in leading lines. In the image section, you're going to get a bunch of ideas of what leading lines look like. It's a great way to kind of see what other people have done and what popular images might look like. A great example of converging lines is roads that lead off into the distance. That's a popular example. Another one that I like are hallways. Hallways are really great at having lines come in on the bottom and the top of the frame that seemingly get closer and closer and closer together as it gets further away from the camera. These are really great lines to bring your audience's eye to the subject. A natural frame is simply something that borders your composition. So if you punched into Google natural frame, you'll see some examples. Common examples would be trees that frame out your composition. Other examples would be doorways. I've seen silhouettes used as compositions. I've seen the hand gesture for the heart. That's a really common one for natural frames. In my case, I used a pot that had a hole in the bottom of it for draining, and I lined it up in front of the camera lens and just took a video through that. So that worked for me, but there's going to be lots of other options for you. Really, your creativity is the only limiting factor in what you're able to accomplish with this. For unbalanced shots, all that we need to do is use the rule of thirds again to weight our subject onto one side of the grid. So if we move our subject, say, all the way to the right side of the screen, we have an unbalanced shot on the right. Now, we can also do this for the top and bottom of our frame. If we move the subject all the way down to the bottom of our frame, we have an unbalanced bottom shot. So these are different ways that we can create unbalanced shots. We can do it for the top, we can do it for the left, and so on. For a balanced shot, again, we can use rule of thirds to set up a grid and place our subject exactly in the middle of our composition. And this would be a balanced shot. Directors that use this technique quite often would be Wes Anderson or Kubrick. And those are some directors that I think do an excellent job of using the center and symmetry of their compositions. Alright guys, that's all I have for today. Hopefully you learned something about composition, and now it's time to go make some videos.